So a huge big hello. My name is Sally Holden and I'm from Abundant Heart Coaching, and I'm here today with the beautiful Sarah, and we're just currently chatting about her experience through the Thrive program as well. So I'm really excited. It's been a little bit since Sarah has finished the program, and really excited to hear how she's going. But first of all, Sarah, maybe it might be helpful, like, just to share with people where you were actually at before you actually started the Thrive program as well too.
Yes, I felt just exhausted and extremely tired. Everything felt hard, even, just the little daily things, everything sort of felt hard. I felt always sort of a bit moody and grumpy, and just little things really annoyed me and piled on. And felt, yes, I'd really lost myself and had forgotten what I enjoyed in life. My body always felt really tense and always sore in my shoulders and neck, and I was also arguing a lot with my husband, and kind of just feeling really tired. Everything felt like a drain, a big effort.
Totally. I often describe it like, walking through a boggy marsh each day with concrete boots on.
Yeah.
And so many people are like, oh my God, that's exactly how it feels.
That is, I just felt, just everything was heavy and hard and annoying and an effort. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. Yeah. And what changed for you? What were the specific results that you experienced going through the program, and now you're out the other side of it? What actually changed for you?
Just learning the strategies and going through the course and talking in the groups and meeting the other women, I just feel calmer. I feel happier. I feel my emotions don't rule me now, but when they do come up, I can handle them. And I'm still practicing that, but just things, looking back, that I used to get so stressed if we might run late, and, now that I just go, okay, we'll get there when we get there, and, just not reacting, and not as reactive, and especially towards, my family and my husband and my child, things, much calmer in my approach to them. So it's really improved my relationship and how I handle problems and how I communicate.
Which is a huge piece, isn't it, to making not just making a relationship work, but feeling a sense of joy and connection and that intimacy in the relationship as well. Like, communication is just so important, and when we feel shut down, there's a lot of stuff that can go on underneath the surface there.
And I think it's also, my husband and I have had much more open and honest communications in a much calmer way, so we've been able to resolve problems more effectively and talk more effectively and discuss things that would normally, just end up in fighting and get pushed under the carpet and moved on and then brought up, and that yo-yo effect.
The cycle, oh, remember when?
Yeah.
So that's so beautiful. Yeah, definitely. And I know, I do remember one of your celebrations one week being, getting back on the paddleboard. Or finding your joy again was huge for you as well too.
Absolutely. Yes, I'd realized I'd really stopped doing anything that, for me, that made me happy, and also that things that used to do that. I used to do a lot of horse riding, but I didn't have a horse, and, so things that I thought, yes, I love that, I just wasn't doing. So it's been a process of finding new things and starting them again as well, old things. So it's been really good.
Absolutely. So much. And I think, it's so understandable that women end up becoming so adaptable and so flexible, trying to cater to everybody's needs in the household, that we can end up losing ourselves unless we're consciously aware of, hey, what brings me joy, what lights me up, and actively engaging in that on a regular basis as well.
Absolutely.
So important to fill our bucket.
So beautiful. And I think with that, not just having more boundaries in place as well, of instead of just taking everything on and then feeling resentful from that. So asking my husband for more help when I need it, and instead of just expecting him to realize what I want him to do.
Yeah, turns out they aren't mind readers, hey.
Can you help me with this? Oh, sure, no worries. Whereas before I'd get annoyed, that he wasn't helping or doing something. Yeah,
absolutely. I know a huge piece for me was, no longer communicating from passive aggressive, but actually asking from a place where they actually want to help, as opposed to I think I'll just back away quietly.
That's a big difference.
Oh, huge difference. And certainly in, allowing us to feel much more supported within the relationship, and then drop into that beautiful feminine energy, which is more playfulness and joy and receptivity, and feeling held and loved and appreciated as well, which is massive. Yeah, for sure. I love that. And what do you think? There's probably lots of things that you learned in the program, Sarah, and some things that you're already aware of. But what was, I guess, like a key thing that you learned that you felt really shifted things for you personally?
I think just sort of learning just to let go of things, or realizing things aren't as big. It's more my interpretation around it, and changing that sort of self-talk, and those things aren't as big or as bad as what I was making out, and having more energy, sort of shifting that self-talk around it and interpretation, and having more energy because of that.
Yeah, it frees up a lot of energy, doesn't it? Because there can be so much energy consumed or in that draining state, either whether we're depleting ourselves through our own self-talk or by what we're making something mean.
Yeah. And identifying some of those really limiting beliefs is really big, and just how much they've played out, never feeling good enough, and how much that has played out in situations, and then recognizing that and shifting that.
Absolutely. Yeah, so powerful to be able to free ourselves from that, and to have the tools and skills then to be able to apply that. Yeah, if it pops back up again in any particular way, shape or form, or if another thing pops up. Yeah, I love that. That's so amazing. And you've made a huge life decision as well when you were coming in. Is that okay if you to share that? Because I think that's something that, with that sense of clarity as well, where you weren't sure which direction you were going to take. But I feel like we were just chatting about it, obviously, before we jumped on here, and so exciting for you.
So exciting, yes. So we're packing up and renting the house out and going traveling around Australia for a year, which so I'm really, really excited. Well, we all are. We can't wait to spend that time together and adventure, and
absolutely. Yeah. And what do you feel was like a catalyst for being able to get clarity around that as well too, Sarah? Because I know when you came into the program, it was kind of like feeling a bit split in that decision of what you're going to do and as well.
I think just realizing we can make it work, and let's just do it, and that stepping out of the fear of doing it, really, and going, all right, this is what we want to do, and we'll address anything that comes up, but we can do it, instead of being fearful of taking that step, and not working for that amount of time, and just going, all right, well, if we need to do some fruit picking along the way, we can, and
and you'll figure it out. Which is so beautiful, because I think that is one of the bigger challenges with burnout as well, is it stops us from living our dream life, or it stops us from taking action, because there is so much fear at the time. As well, and whether that's through our own self-talk or just our own beliefs about what could happen or anything else. But I love that, and I was so excited to hear that. I just wanted to share that, and so thank you for sharing. And what would you say to somebody else that was, say, perhaps where you were back at before you started the Thrive program, if they're sitting in that space right now, they're exhausted, they're fatigued, everything's feeling overwhelming, difficult, and they're sitting on the fence, not knowing whether the program could work for them or not, what would you share with them, Sarah?
I would say do it. Initially I was a bit skeptical with time commitments and costs, but it really has been the best thing I've done for myself and for my family. It's given me skills and strategies to handle all situations, and bring my emotions down and bring myself up, and the support in the groups with, you know, listening and talking to the other women, and with you, Sal, just felt supported and heard, and yeah, not alone. And it's really sort of brought joy, helped me bring joy back into my life, and just improve my relationships with my family, my husband and my daughter. So absolutely, I highly recommend it. It really is the best thing I've done, and I just feel so much lighter and happier, and equipped to handle, you know, life again, rather than it, you know, I don't have those cement blocks on my feet.
It's on anymore.
I'm excited again, and excited to get out and do things, whereas before I'd really withdrawn and shut down.
So beautiful.
Open and free again, which is awesome. Thank
Yay.
you. Of course, and the ladies I met doing it along. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think it's a huge part in the healing journey, isn't it? Just realizing, oh my goodness, it's really normal. And not normal as in, you know, it's not normal to feel so exhausted and depleted, but all the things that compound together that impact and create, you know, that sense of burnout or that feeling of burnout, that it's really normal, and you're not alone in that as well, because and having, you know, feeling validated, feeling heard with your experience, I think is one of the most healing things. Definitely. And also then having the tools and skills to be able to navigate through that and out of that, to reclaim your energy and that lightness of being and the joy and all of those things. So,
and I think it's great how it's set up that I've got all the tools, you know, so I can look back on all of that, and, you know, got the resources there, so when things get triggered or come up, it's all there to go back through and work through. And
absolutely. Yeah, having the lifetime access to be able to revisit modules. I've had so many women say that, where it's like, oh my gosh, I went back to module 1 or I went back to module 2, and, you know, I got so much more out of it again. Like, absolutely. Yeah, so valuable. Oh, that's awesome, honey. Well, it has been just such an honor and a real privilege in watching you go through the program as well, and just every week I could feel, you know, the weight just like shifting and releasing off your shoulders. You just got lighter and lighter and more radiant, and thank you so much for your time this morning as well.
Thank you, Sal. Thank you for everything. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, darling. And thanks, everybody. If you'd love to reach out to me, you can do so at admin@sallyholden.com.au, or find me on Facebook on my Abundant Heart Coaching page as well. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day. Bye for now.